But before I wrap up, I want to tell you what I see in the future. And it breaks my heart. I want to show you what I see in the future, and it's not what it could be or what it should be. Here's what bothers me. Here's what keeps me up at night. This is 3,697,200 minutes. It's 7 years. If you're wondering, it's 7 years. Because statistically, once a church moves into a building, within 7 years, it will stop reaching new people, and it will stop growing, and it will become all about who's here, and who showed up, and who's giving, and oh my goodness, why is she wearing? And that's not what the Church of Jesus is. See, the Church of Jesus is a movement. It's a movement that started when Jesus came into this world because he had a broken heart. In fact, when we look at the story of Nehemiah, we see so many parallels to the story of Jesus. Nehemiah lived in the palace. He sat at the right hand of the king. Life was good. There was a problem somewhere else, but it wasn't his problem. He didn't cause it. It wasn't his responsibility to solve it. But when he looked at it, he just couldn't live with what is, when he could see what could be and what should be. So as his story progresses, we're going to see he travels to a foreign land and at great cost and risk of his life, he does something about them, but he's there just to point us to Jesus. Jesus, the Son of God in the palace of heaven, sitting at the right hand of the Father, looked at our broken world and looked at our sin and looked at our shame and disgrace, and his heart was broken. And his heart was broken because sin separates us from God, and he couldn't imagine a future where you were separated from God for eternity. And because his heart was broken, he left the palace and came to this distant land of earth. And not at risk of his life, but at the very cost of his life, he bore your sin. He took away your disgrace. He forgave you when he died on the cross to forgive you. And before he left, he said, you have a mission. The church has a mission, and it's not to be a big church and not to have a good production, not to inspire people, but is to change people's eternities by sharing what I've done with the world. And I am not okay that this is where churches end up. That is not okay for us. That is not acceptable to us, because if that happens, we are no longer being the church that's about Jesus.